Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High Yah, Yahuwah, through his son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother Uncle K. We're back with another one. Hope y'all having a Baruch day. It's been a real peaceful day. And I hope you're at peace as well. Shalom out. Good to see you. Hope you're feeling blessed, man. Hope you had a great day as well. We're not going to be too long in this live. It's going to be a quick live. I just want to give some perspective, some motivation, some inspiration. Being set apart brings you so much peace. You don't have too much people that's bringing confusion and bringing calamities into your life. You're not a busybody. You're not trying to keep up with all the trends that's in the world, with all the things that's going on in this system. You're not caught up with it. You're not being tossed to and fro by having so many things pulling you in multiple directions. It's a beautiful thing. That's right. The set apart life is the best life. That's right. They automatically get blocked out your life. That's right. And it's an automatic thing. It's automatic. It's automatic that these things gets removed out of your life. It's an automatic thing. You're with the Most High. You're with Yahuwah. You have Yahusha as your head. He removes a lot of things out of your life. A lot of things that can make you stumble. He removes it out of your life. And when you live in set apart, you can see a stumbling block clear as day. That's that wisdom right there. Pardon me. That's that discernment right there. There's no better feeling than knowing that you got the Almighty on your side. You got the Ancient of Days on your side. You got Yahushua HaMashiach on your side. Showing you the way to the truth and the life. Right? Like, in this life, what's going on, everybody? I see Wisconsin. See the Burger Man. What's going on, y'all? Hope y'all having a peaceful night, peaceful day, wherever y'all at around the world, man. Hope y'all being blessed. Hope y'all at peace. All right. Letting go of stresses. All right. So this lifestyle, gives you so much patience. And patience, it's a pivotal thing to have in this life right now. I'm doing great, Burger Man. How you doing? Patience is something that a lot of people don't have in this world because the world pushes a narrative to you that makes you want to go after a million things. When you only want one thing, they want you to go after a million different things. They want you to have a million different ideologies, right? They want you to have a million different tastes. Right? When you wanted a salad with grilled chicken, but the world will tell you, nah, man, get that grilled chicken, but also get this cheeseburger and get these fries, get this milkshake, and then watch a movie with it, and then play the video game at the same time. What's going on, Noel? Hope everything is well with you too. Peace be upon you. So we giving some motivation right now, This world wants you to play video games, work out, eat fast food at the same time, and worry about foolish things that don't mean anything, and they don't mean anything with your individual progress, right? Becoming a better man. If you're a woman, becoming a better woman. But primarily, we talking to the men right now because it's about the men, and we know that society is always trying to make men weaker, right? They want to do things to hinder the progress of masculinity. And that's why being set apart from the things of the world brings you back to that peace. It brings you back into that that shell, right? You know, when a caterpillar is looking like it's about to go into this metamorphosis, the caterpillar is eating so much plants, eating so much vegetation, it's eating so much. And when it got its proper nutrients, then it goes into its metamorphosis and then it comes out as a butterfly. Now this is only just a little reference, but we not butterflies out here, man. We not all colorful and twinkly out here, man. You know? Let's read the scripture real quick. Psalms Tehillim 9:7. That's Hebrew for Psalms, Tehillim 9:7. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all nations that forget Yahuwah through his son Yahushua HaMashiach. Yeah. Appreciate that, Burger Man. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the support. For real, appreciate that. On this platform, we talk about masculinity, we talk about semen retention, we talk about just improving yourself in a righteous, holistic way to be better and to be observant of the times you live in right now. We get into scriptures. We just want our brothers, our ox, our kins to be stronger and be wiser in the times you're living in right now. So I really appreciate you becoming a supporter. For real. Yeah, this world has been given over to the hands of wickedness, right? And the Most High, He has His hands on a selected few, that's working, right? That's working and putting in that work, standing firm in His belief, standing firm on that foundation, right? And we can see that a lot of men out here, a lot of people in general, man, they going through it because they don't have that peace, they don't have that shalom. Yeah, this world is sickening, and that's why to not be of the world is such a blessing. It's such a blessing to not be of the world, and you have so much peace. That's why we bring so much pressure when we go about, because people in the world, they so confused about drama. They so riled up about sports and things that's happening on TV. If their favorite team lost a game, they having a bad week, right? If they rapper, their favorite artist is going through some beef or some drama, then they moving with that same emotion. You know, that's why we don't really spend a lot of time on social media. Like, the only time we use social media is to get advice when it comes down to things that we doing, righteously. If it's fitness, we're looking at certain fitness content, right? If we trying to, learn about nutrition, if we trying to, watch a nature documentary, we trying to watch, something of edification, right? Something that's gonna take your mindset to another level, something that's gonna, keep you cool and calm, not something that's real lustful, not something that's confusion, not something that's gonna have you taking three to 15 steps backwards, right? Everything we watch is to keep us at forward momentum, for real. This world, it's this world, man. To make swift progress, you gotta be in the world and of the world, and do worldly things to make that swift progress. But when you set apart, that progress is patience, and you getting quality over quantity. And that's why we like what we do, because we're not in a big rush, right? Because we see the fruits. How long it takes a fruit to bear. You know how it takes a seed, right, to enter good soil, and then it has to get proper nutrition, proper sunlight, a good amount of water, and you got to be patient for the stems to even, that root to take hold and to start extending and expanding. It may come out as a little tree, but it's still gonna take a little while for the fruit to start bearing, man. And when you patient in this walk, you're gonna be bearing what you're supposed to bear, man. You reap what you sow. You sow that seed in that good soil. You be patient. You put in a good work. You staying vigilant. You using wisdom. You applying good things into that seed, man. That seed gonna grow. See, the Bergman said, "I'm trying to be better to myself, but it's hard. The world keeps me down, and so many people hate on me, and I can't take it all at once." Are you practicing semen retention? Are you abstaining from sex and releasing your vital essence? Because I'm telling you, man, if you if you start doing that, you're gonna start feeling a lot of things start shifting in your life, a lot of things, because this world want to keep you down, but when you up within, the world can't pull you down to their level. And we all know that the world tries to pull us down, right? Because you have discernment. You could feel things, right? In the society, in this broken system, when you operate on a high echelon, there's a lot of things that's on a lower echelon, extremely lower echelon, that tries to bait you in and make you feel lower than what you really are right now. And people gonna hate regardless. People hate on things that they can't understand. So if you're a man that's after wisdom and living a set apart life, then guess what? They can't comprehend it off top. So they're gonna hate what they can't understand. You know, it's like a young child. When you in school, or you getting taught a lesson, and it's extremely hard for you. The little ones, they throw tantrums. They start smacking your legs and stuff like that. They throw the pen on the floor. It's like that. That's how the wicked are. When a man of low degree can't really understand what another man is doing, and he sees that man prospering but doesn't know how he's prospering, because we don't look like worldly men. They can't even identify what righteousness is. So when they see us, it's just something that's very original. So they're gonna hate. So they don't even realize that it's all a script. Yeah, right. It's all a script, man. Everything that get pushed out in the media, it's all a script. And the people of the world, they hold on to that. They be running to it so fast, man. You know, they be they cling onto people that don't care about them. These people, and it's the reason why they they uh they incorporated these things in the system, so you can have people to idolize. That's why the Most High says, you're not supposed to have no idols. You know, you're not supposed to put no one above him, right? And that's why they put people on this echelon to distract the masses, right? This world is only here to the thing about the world. The adversary wants every man to break all commandments, right? That's why he puts people in these so-called high places. That's why the adversary give them the riches of the world, right, and temporary power to push those that don't want to be set apart, that don't want to cling unto righteousness, so that they can have somebody to praise and worship. And then when one of these so-called celebrities pass away, everybody crying and mourning. People still tied up about Kobe Bryant and stuff like that. Being in California, people be tied up about stuff like that. Like, there was in a deep relationship with this man. All this man did was throw a ball in a basket. And people be over here mourning about this dude. Man, I'm so hurt, man, that this guy passed away, man. Like, man, he done so much for the sport. It's a sport. He ain't do nothing for you, for real. People be worshiping these dudes, man. All they do is get on a mic, write a couple words on the paper, and throw a little beat on it. And they like, man, that's it right there. When it come down to sports, you throw a ball in the air, dude catch a ball, run down to the end of the field, get a touchdown. People praising him just for that, just for a ball. You know what I mean? These dudes out here running around the court, bouncing a ball, throw it in the net. Like, come on, bro. Like, people, people really out here, like, got their hearts tied up with these individuals. Like, they can't do something so normal and so just simple like that. You take a ball, you throw it in the garbage. It's just like in the house. I'll be doing that with my son, man. I change my son's diapers. I give him the diaper, especially if he haven't defecated. If he just urinated, then I'm like, hey son, throw it in the garbage. He'll walk to the garbage and he'll throw it in the garbage. A lot of these individuals, man, they be so tied up with these things, man. Let's see. Let me see this comment. It said, hello, I'm half Japanese, Armenian, all the way from Okayama. I hope all your hopes and dreams come true and you become the best version of yourself. Thank you. Thank you. You stay safe out there and you stay blessed. Keep the peace. Appreciate that. What's going on, Noah? Shalom out. Good to see you. Good to see you. I don't know. I will and all is well with you and your family. Hey, appreciate that. Yeah, we're doing great. Doing great. Doing great right now. Everybody well fed, well rested. I'm out here doing a live right now. Hope all is well. Since nobody outside of the kingdom of Yahuwah cares about each other. Yeah. Tell you it's like once you once you have a once you don't agree with something that somebody agree with in the world, you know, they're gonna, put you to the side, and that's fine because it's the same way for the righteous. We don't counsel with the wicked, right? The scornful, right? With the fornicators. We don't eat with these individuals, right? So, we don't break bread. But it's like in the world, right? They will fight over that. They'll fight over a sport. They'll fight over a team. They'll fight over, racism. They'll fight over all of that, just because, they don't agree. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty wild, man. Yeah, it's all a blood sacrifice. All he did was throw a ball into the basket. Yeah, he don't care about us or our families, for real, man. These dudes, man, they take oaths. The Most High told us don't take no oath on earth or in the Shamaim, man. People out here, man, they be taking oaths just to do simple things, even the military. They don't like to say that, but even the military, because I remember years ago, man, years ago in my high teens, I remember I came out of high school. I was about to go to the Navy. I passed my practice test, and I went to the military base in, yeah, I believe it was in Pennsylvania or Philadelphia. Probably, yeah, probably Pennsylvania. Yeah, it was a drive, and we got to the base and everything. We all sat down. Once I got in that base, I saw how depressed people was looking. Right, these individuals didn't have a vision. They didn't know what they wanted in life. They had no zeal. They had no passion. They was looking real mopey. Pardon me. I think I'm about to sneeze. Hold up. All right, cool. We're gonna keep going. If I sneeze, I sneeze. So be it. But yeah, being 18, going on 19, and actually, I think no, I think I was already, huh? Yeah, I think I was 19 at the time. Yeah, I was 19. Yeah, probably going on. Yeah, I was 19. I just turned 19. So yeah, man, I saw individuals in there looking like they don't know what they want to do in life, and I knew to an extent what I wanted to do at that current moment. Right, I had a very creative mind. Right, I wanted to design things. Right, but you got talked into it. Family was like, hey, this is a simple and easy route. Yeah, go to the military, do this, do that. So I went to the passed my practice test. I got a high score. So they was like, okay, perfect. He's a candidate. Let's go in. Let's get it. Let's boom. So I go in there. I see all these very depressed looking individuals, and I just looked at the test, and I say, you know what? I'm gonna just press one letter. Like it goes A, B, C, D. It's a multiple choice. It wasn't hands on. So I just clicked the regular number. Just clicked it all the way. I got a I got a score. I think I was 8 points shy of passing the test. But as my way leaving the facility, I saw so many people swearing and doing an oath in this one room, because the thing about those things is the thing about these branches and these organizations, that whatever happens, happens. You can't tell nobody what happened. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that when they join these and it's like fraternities at the end of the day, right? And a lot of these individuals, they get drafted into masonry as well too, and they're not gonna tell you that, right? They took a lot of oaths. A lot of them in there, man, is completely, what's the word? Corrupted, you know. And that's why they tell you these things. Oh yeah, you can't give out no intel of nothing that happened. So where am I going with this? Yeah, with the blood sacrifice. Yeah, all these things that goes on in this world, it's already been written, right? Whatever they signed up for, they already knew what they was gonna get out of it, right? The adversary, he comes to them, he gives them things, and he doesn't promise them life, right? You can't take riches with you, right? So they don't know that, you know. Sir, all praises. Shalom out, good to see you. Good to see you, Jay. Good to see you, man. He said we all the way cool. We being outcasts on this side. We don't want anything to do with the world. That's a fact. It's a fact. The thing is, like, are we really truly outcasted? Are we really truly outcasted? Let's think about that. Are we really truly outcast, or do we just stand out? Feel what I'm saying? And when you stand out, you set apart. You want your peace, right? They don't know that they cast it out, right? When they choose the world, they're the ones that's cast out of the kingdom of the Most High. You know, we just very wise about the way we move. They say they be thinking that we don't know how to conduct ourselves because we don't talk a lot. You know, okay, cool. We real introverted, but when it's time to say something or stand up for yourself or to spit game or talk that knowledge, that wisdom, you sound like a vet. You sound like you've been at it for so many years. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us have this already in us at an early age, man. In my earlier 20s, being 32 right now, and to be like, wow, 32. I'm 32 years young, right? I'm like, okay. When I was in my earlier 20s, like 21, I would stop a a 70-year-old or 80 or whatever age, maybe like late 60s, and I would be like, hey, is there something that you could tell me? And these older individuals told me, be patient in life. Don't chase after so many things in life. You know what I'm saying? And I hold that close. Hold that close because they may have been men of faith, but probably didn't know the Ivir, which is translated as Hebrew, right? The Ephraim, right? Ephraim, yeah. So they probably didn't know that, but there's probably in the scriptures at some point, so they know about patience. I don't know why I feel like I'm trying to sneeze, man. I just made me some mashed potatoes. I probably still got, pardon me, I probably still got black pepper on my hands. Well, let me catch up to these comments. Hold up. He said Kobe and the rest of the high-profile celebrities took an oath. It's hard. It's hard. It's not hard to see when you unite with the Father. Yeah, man. A lot of these jokers, man, they took oaths. They took oaths. That's why you see everything about them change. You see everything. You see they style. You see they get feminine. They get all these worldly things. They start getting commercials. They start getting these endorsements, and all of these things is tied to it's tied to something. You know what I'm saying? It's tied to something. And if you in the field of being a creator, you can feel it in the airwaves, right? That if you making music, for instance, right, and you got that fire. You know what I'm saying? You gonna stumble into somebody, and they're gonna be talking crazy to you. I'll give you a little story, but I'm about to run up in these comments, man. I see out dropping comments right now. So, yo, if y'all don't know, well, I know a lot of y'all know, but some of y'all don't know. I take at one point in my life, I was taking music extremely serious, man, and Right now I'm still bodying tracks on the low right now at the home studio, and I'm just keep building because I still want to drop more music. But yeah, man, when I was living in Canarsie, Brooklyn, I was recording an album called 5 Years, and I was really cooking that album. It took a whole year to make that album, and I was working with artists from Switzerland, things like that. It was a so-called independent label, but even independent labels, it's still tied with these things, so you still got to be careful. So, I was looking at my analytics and I saw Los Angeles was really listening to it, real loud. And I had a lot of supporters on social media at the time, and I met this collective. I was living out in California. Long story short, right? When I came to California, right, I had a lot of shows. I had shows out in Santa Monica, I had shows out in Hollywood, I had shows, you know, so many just random spots too. Studio City. And Studio City, that was the last show that like woke me up to this realization that people are watching you, man. Like I remember when I got up there, the show had this track called Purified Waters, man, and people like to steal your content too and try to like rock with it. Hold up. If they featuring with your tracks, you gotta be real pivotal with these jokers, man. Not break bread with these people. But remember this time, it was like this venue that what's his name? P. Diddy. He uh he was endorsing, right? Because he think he had like some new drink or some alcohol beverage, and I didn't even take no shots. Everybody else was taking a shot. Everybody that was going to perform, they had their slots or whatnot, and they was drinking and whatnot. And I was just like, nah, bro. So I went up there. I did my performance and whatnot, and this one dude came to me with a petition that he was in the works of making a water company, like a probiotic water company or something like that. And he really liked the way that I used to break down talking about like purity and how water is this and water is that, and he just really liked the flow. You feel me? So we went to this other venue, and then I saw Russell Simmons, man, and yeah, that made me wake up to the reality that like, yo, don't even break bread with these people, because when I was in that facility and I saw this dude, and he was hugged up on two shorties, right? And then when he saw me, he was like, "Hey man, come here, man. Let me talk to you." I was like, "Nah, bro, I'm out of here, bro." Because you could feel it, like when you're in the presence of these people. I think Nick Cannon was there too, and there was so many people that was dressed in black and white. So I was like, huh, like this place is a little weird, they was trying to talk about this type of whatever movement. They was probably sugarcoating it differently. They was probably talking about masonry or some Masonic agenda or something like that. But they was talking about, they're trying to make it sound super deep. But then when I saw this dude, I was just like, nah, bro. Then I took a break on music. And I started getting established in faith, and then everything started changing, right? And then I realized that it's even in this realm too. Like when you talking that righteous talk, right? Y'all remember like early in the platform I had a track called Getting To It. Y'all remember I was dropping so much bangers, like probably 2023 at the time, 2022. And I went to the studio out in LA, and it was an independent label at the time, right? So I went down, was playing my tracks. I was mixing, mastering them, and he put them on the amp, and he was like, "Whoa, I don't even gotta change no knobs." He's like, "Man, this thing knocking." And then some dude came in, right, acting just like the adversary. He was like, "Hey man, ooh, I can see this song right here, man. The music video, yeah, this track right here, man, can have so many views." And he was like, "Man, don't you want the riches, man?" He was like, "Don't you want the women, man? Don't you want the house, man?" I was like, "Nah, bro." And the dude at the time that was hearing me say these things back to him, I was like, "Yo, it's not about the money, man. Like, I really enjoy making music. Like, I could care less about getting big money from it. It's about me being creative." And I want to say this too. That's the reason why people in the world, they feel like what they're doing is not enough. Right? Being a hardworking man and just laboring for the Most High, we should not put away laborers' work, and that's all avenues. If you on YouTube, cutting up, making some bread, keep putting in that work. If you making music and you scrapping up change, but you still working a job, keep putting in work. It's laborers' work, right? Anything you do, any labor, man, find joy in it, for real. But let's get to these comments though. When that dude came in the room, bro, I felt a dark, like some darkness in there, man. I was like, yo, this dude talking about some, you want the riches and all this and that. And now when I look at that same studio I went to, they tied with they they got they got ties with Sony now. So I'm like, see, they was gonna break eventually, and then they wanted to go and now they signing artists now, and they sending them up. That's what they do. They go independent and then they send them up. They send them up. Even independents, man, be sellouts. Don't think just because say independent it mean that they really independent. They get a payout some way, some sort. Can't believe it all. And my first tape, I had over 200,000 streams. For real, man. Let's get into his comments, man. Let's get into Zaka Yahoo. Let's go. Yeah, man. I'll be reading out the cipher too. He said, and let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against your neighbors, and love no false oath for all these things that I hate, says Yahuwah. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. We don't be thinking evil about our neighbors, man. We don't. We don't. It's a beautiful thing to have discernment to know that your neighbors be feeling some type of way about you. For real, man. You be still helpful, man. Like you can know somebody mean no good towards you, and you still hold the door for them. You still like, do something simple for them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we love no false oath, for real. These oaths, no way, no way. Cling unto the promises of Yahuwah. Cling unto the truth. Truth will set you free. For real. Said I went to the Navy officer too and thought about joining too. Said I joined, didn't go back. Yeah, man. I didn't go back, man. I didn't go back. And they kept calling me. They kept calling me, ringing me, man. Cause that I think they knew that I failed it intentionally, right? Because if I go in there, they saw that I put C for every answer. I was like, I was like, but what's tricky about them multiple choice things, man? If you pick C for a lot of things, you could get a decent score. That's why I was only like 7 to 8 points off. But still, man, them places, man, they be taking oaths too. For real, you gotta be. I had some family that done changed up, man. Lose contact of them, man, because they love that life. You know, they get to travel, they get to drink, they get to fornicate. You know, they get to do whatever they want to do, and then they get promised a few dollars and a payout and a pension. You know, yeah, you know how these dudes, man. It's a lot of strange things that go on in there, man. A lot of sweetness too. You know, you put a lot of men together. It's like fraternities, man. They do a lot of strange acts. Said Ox said, I remember back in the early 2000s, if you wasn't trying to hear the wicked mainstream stuff, you could go to the underground and find some good low key artists. Yeah, it's not like that in hip hop anymore. That's a fact, bro. Used to go to rap concerts all the time in the early 2000s in person. They're all reprobated and strange. Man, yo, tell your man, it's like, and even when you learn a little, like, you see, like, independent hip hop back in the days, it was good music, to an extent. Until when you get a little wiser and a little older, you still see there was, yeah, they was talking about this, they was talking about that, but now we in a whole different direction. But during that time and that season, when you found music that was real, real edifying, it was like, yeah, it was it. Me personally, I used to listen to like alternative type music, like um like indie rock and stuff like that. I was really big on smooth jazz. Yeah, really, I was really big on smooth jazz, man. Really, really big on smooth jazz. So it's really not about the money. It's all about loving. So it's about being creative and loving the music that you put out. That's right. That's right. Yahuwah will bless you for the labor if you put in good works. That's right. That's right. Don't get faint hearted when you're doing certain things. And that's the thing, man. It's about being faint hearted. These individuals and a lot of these individuals, man, they were never talking about nothing to begin with. So it it uh it it was pertaining more to the world and more to those type of people. So, they get those different acclaims. But yeah, the base of the message, it's nothing like being at peace, man. Being set apart brings so much peace rather than being in this world where so many people, you got so many people in your business and know where you at all times. You gotta do this and do that. And, it's no going back. It's no going back. Yeah, yeah, I feel you to an extent too. But even those two groups, man, will leave you, you know, living an immoral life. Yeah, they will have you reprobated to the max. Talking about Egypt gods and this, that, and the third, and you know, probably sellouts too to an extent. They be painting their nails and doing all different type of things too. So like I said, man, underground at a certain point, it don't mean that you really underground. It don't really mean any of that. People still take oaths and do certain things. Regardless to get a certain type of status. And that's something that we got to realize. It's something you got to realize. These people could be so-called independent, but they could take an oath to only get to this level, but make it seem like they not in it all the way, but they in it all the way. You get what I'm saying? For real, break on the music too. That's facts. Want to make sure the music put out is set apart. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. That's why I don't listen to people. I don't listen to people. You know. I'll blast some of your music in the house. You do drop some bangers. But that's about it. Like if I see some set apart music, that's cool. Look, it's been a really long time since I listened to artists, right? And then when I saw that you drop music, or for instance, right, I didn't know about your content until you commented on on one of my one of my past videos, and I think you had deleted the comment. It was something about somebody was trying to fight you fight you over a bed, right? And I was about to get to the comment, but then I couldn't find the comment no more. But I'm glad that I found your channel, man. And then when I was like, yo, theme song fire. So and I looked through the catalog, I was like, hey, bro, like it's good music. You know, people be so fond about quality and stuff like that, but what is quality? You know, what is quality besides the message? You know what I'm saying? Because there be some tracks, hey man, I ain't gonna, hey look, I put that thing on the car, right? Driving in the car, got that 2015, right? Good speaker system. Put them tracks on. I think blasted. You know, telling you, man. Sometimes when I just getting a good vibe, put that alright on. Sometimes put that I put that set apart the master. I put that on too. Um, what else I put on? Yeah, who going the title, but who gonna stand against those that's in iniquity? Put that on too. It's a lot of bangers, man. Just even the regular ones, man. Like just the regular stuff, bro. Stuff where we just telling people to repent, turn back to the Most High. It's one of the other ones, man. It'd be fire, bro. It'd be fire, bro. Sometimes I be hitting that note, so like, ooh yeah, it'd be fire, bro. It'd be fire, bro. I know when a brother is really in the faith, based off of content too, and I really connect. Even with the truth topics that you put out. exposing what they do in darkness. I've been on that for like years, man, too. I just didn't. I just probably wasn't drawn to create the content about it because I saw a lot of people doing it. So I just come on it in like a different perspective. But you doing the work, so yeah, man. For real, I really appreciate it. That's why I say, I love all my brothers, man. Love all my ox, man. As I spend time, I just sit sometimes and I really be praying for the whole family, man. I'd be like, you know, sometimes I get riled up, man. I'll be in the bathroom real quick, finish brushing my teeth, man. I'll sit down and I'll be like, Most High, protect the brothers, man. From the wickedness in this world, man. Slay all the adversaries in their life. Keep my brother strong on this lifestyle journey, man. Keep him strong on this walk. I'll be really in it, man, because I want to see all my brothers strive and win. You know, I don't want, it's like, we really bounded, man, by the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach for real. And we don't get on these platforms just to, talk and to, put people down or expose a lot, man. It's real communion. It's a real awakening. It's real. It's real. It's real, man. It's real, bro. Yeah, hey, Jay Dilla. Yeah, Jay Dilla. Yeah, his instrumentals is dope. Yeah, Kazan Blue. Yeah, good instrumentals too. That's what I do. I like instrumentals, man. You know, I like instrumentals. They both got good instrumentals. Yeah, Kazan Blue. Yeah, he got good instrumentals. I think I used one of his instrumentals on my one of my shorts. Oh, last summer. Last summer. Sheesh. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah. Hey, last summer, I tell you, man. I was at a shelter myself, man. I had to go hard, man. I was eating. I was at the gym every day, 5 in the morning. I wake up 5, go straight to the gym, man. You know, I was out grinding, grabbing my food, what I had to eat, whatnot. Sometimes, you don't want to eat that shelter food. So sometimes you got, you know, use what you got to go get something to eat, man, get right. I remember, man, I was going hard, hard. Still going hard to this day. Yeah. Man, oh yeah. Man, yeah, you was definitely there then too, huh? Yeah. Went to Chipotle. Yeah, when I was wearing my kufis, man, these jokers out here talking about some assalamu alaikum. I'm like shalom alaikum. You know what I'm saying? They're like, wait, what the what? I was like, yeah, bro, I ain't no Muslim out here. I said, y'all be getting it twisted. you know, y'all cold, bro. Come on. Yeah, that Chipotle dude was bugging back in the day, man. He said, hey, man, he said that Chipotle guy was like, get at it. Man, man, yeah, dudes was acting super feminine. He arguing with the lady over the register over some rice and beans, It's crazy. It's crazy, man. He said something to me. I was like, Shalom Alaikum. He said something. I was like, he's like, I got that on me. I was like, I got the most on me. What up? Like, his hands wasn't even in his pocket. They all talking. No weapon for him. Yeah, he didn't want no smoke. That's facts. That's facts. That's facts, bro. That's facts. That's why a lot of the music, come from, man. Man, tell you, man, these jokers is acting silly. They mumble deep under their breath. Whew, never wanted to smoke. But tell you, yeah, that Ruwak gonna put him to rest. That's a fact too. Speaking about that lyric, right? The Ruwak gonna put him to rest. A lot of times when that spirit left these individuals that was living a wicked life, the spirit left them, drop. Man, Most High be smiting them on sight. Most High be locking these individuals up when they be trying to act like tough guys. Most High be locking these individuals up, man. Think about that for a second though. Like when we be out in certain places, right? You know, the Most High be making people really stiff and still. Like they can't move. Yeah, I was like, I got the most home. You stop, man. Dudes was bugging out their mind for real. Yeah, the lady was shouting back at dude too, like crazy. Yeah, it was crazy, man. It's crazy. And I was going to that Chipotle like almost every day, just to get the calories, man. Cause I was in the gym doing that full body. I know I needed some type of food. I couldn't cook at the time because I didn't have my spot now, but I couldn't prep and stuff like that. So she used to serve me all the time going in there. And she was a kind woman. She showed respect and whatnot. Remember, she the one that put me on the barbacoa quesadilla. Sometimes I forgot I was telling them to do it this way or that way, and then she put me on game like, oh, it's called a barbacoa quesadilla. I was like, oh, I had no idea the whole time. She's like, yeah, we was charging you a whole different price because you was getting so many modifications. You could have just said it this that, and I was like, what? And then every time I go in there, what I was ordering, it was like $13, and every time I came in, I was getting it for $9.95. Just because you walking in there with that presence and you show respect. See, when you show respect, you give respect back. You don't be out here just really trying to, go out your way just to, bow to people and try to be all submissive. But, you give respect, man. They give it back. Yeah, super feminine trait. Yeah, you trying to size up a woman. Like, man. That's soft, man. That's soft. That's real soft. And I had this woman, she tried to size me up one time. I was just laughing, bro. Cause she was like if y'all know, like I went to barber school, so I had a lot of clients at the spot, right? So I'll be cutting maybe like 3 heads a day, making some quick pocket change, right? And I was cutting one of the guys' hairs, right? And this female, she was coming at me crazy because she knew I was a personal trainer. So she was trying to tell me, oh, she needed help with this and that. And I was like, I would hit her up and be like, hey, well, you ready to put in some work or whatnot like that? She never used to reply to my messages, right? Because she be thinking, she probably thought that everybody was thirsty or whatnot. You know how these bros be thinking, like, they be thinking that they higher than everybody and they want you to chase after them, but I'm like, nah, I really want to train because I was really making that money. You know what I'm saying? I was training these two Asian women, right? And I was getting 60 a piece from them per day. So I was training them every other day. I was getting like 120 plus tips. Like every other day, I was training them heavy. We was doing full body, putting them through the ringer. And it was like, yo, they seeing results. So yeah, they was paying me 60 a pop, boom, every other day. And yeah, I was trying to help this lady too. I had so many people wanted my clientele because they saw my body, they saw my physique, they saw me always going putting in work. So I was gonna train this woman. She didn't hit my line back. So I was like, I just deleted her number, right? And then when I was cutting dude's head, she said something, and I was like, oh you still? I was like, yo, you still trying to train or whatnot? Cause like these bros, man, when they see you lighting up somebody, got them looking all, nice and clean, they want to come through and see the work that you're doing. I press the straight, not no aggression and all that. I'm like, still want to get that training? She's like, she said something smart, something like that. She's like, man, yeah, you been hitting my phone, You're like, I'll be out at some time. I was like, it's all right. I already deleted your number already. That's when I said I deleted your number already. She threw a tantrum. She was flipping tables. She's like, I'll fight. She used the N word. I ain't trying to talk like that, man. She's like, I'll fight them too. She's like, I'll fight those too. I was like, I got a wife. If you don't sit down, bro. And she was over here. She was riled up. She's like, nah, like, nah. All I said was, yeah, I already deleted your number. Hey, yo, Shorty was like, and when I finally when me and my wife finally found a location, right, and we signed a lease and everything like that. When we was moving out, I got a call from somebody that was like hacking into the phone. I thought it was my wife calling me. The whole time it was this female calling me. She's like, "Yeah, I could reach your phone whenever I want to reach it." I was like, "You goofy, bro." Click. I'm like, see, these females be thirsty the whole time, bro. The whole time I was in that facility, I come in there, I had my baggy shirt. These bros be talking about some man. He's so sculpted. Like talking about is he a god? I'm like, look at the blasphemy right there. Crazy. My man was, hey man, Aqua's hitting him with the light feet brew at Planet Fitness. Uh, I was like, bruh, my dude footwork was clean, bro. I'm like, look at these two jokers in the background just grinning and smiling, acting like something funny, but they ain't putting in no work. I'm like, my dude cut up, bro. He cut up. He cut up. Moving with the J's. He moving with the ones. Cause when you got the ones is vulcanized and they real lightweight. So you get that good bend. My man's was eating. It was funny, bro. It was funny. I see jokers in the background looking like they was grinning and all that, but they didn't want to get in the mood. They didn't want to get light feet. They didn't want to get up in it, man. So he went to a Caribbean spot to get some Jamaican beef, Jamaican patties, and some curry goat, some super junk. The super some joker came in there trying to preach white power and started screaming about politics and white privilege. Yeah, man, I be hating that, bro. Those be coming in there just thinking about talk about the crazy stuff. Man, he said he went in there for the Caribbean spot. Man, look, if you was in New York, I'll tell you a nice hot spot, right? So you could take I think you could take, yeah, you could take the 1, 2, or 3, right? You get off by Brooklyn College, right? Hey yo, it's a spot right down the street, man. You get roti, right? You get roti with you can add so much to it, man. You get the sweet yams, you get the curry chickpeas, you get the spinach, you get the bust down saute spinach, you know, and then you could get curry goat, you get curry lamb, curry chicken, man. You get the pilau on the side too. What? You get that yellow pepper sauce, game changer, game changer, game changer. He said I just took my food. He said I just took my food to go. Didn't even bother entertaining dude. Yeah, you just get up out of there, man. Yeah, he said that's why I went to the shelter living around. Oh, that's why I went to the shelter. Living around too many females would drain you. Yeah, man, drain you eventually, man. Because especially when you start moving masculine in your principles, you start getting rooted in this truth. You can't turn back, can't turn back your ways. And then when you on semen retention, and then you start getting super duper masculine. It's like you're not gonna put up with foolishness. It's like, yo, come on, like you know, some of these bros like running their mouth. Be submissive. Like, why you always gotta talk back? Like, just calm down. I ain't trying to fight you. You know, these bros be acting like they want to fight dudes and all that. Like, come on, bro. They gotta stop, man. These bros crazy. Yeah, the light feet, man. Tell you, he was light feet on him. He's in the background. He was like, saw them. It was back there looking and laughing. He was putting in work though. Putting in work. Live in effect. He said I was fighting. My family arguing and bickering. Yeah, that ain't a space. That's definitely not a space you want to be in. For real. I don't waste my time with no individuals like that, man. And those situations really do break up families, man. Who wants to stay in constant discord with your family? That's why Yahusha said, you gotta leave family, man. Gotta leave brother, sister, mother, everybody, man. Father, everybody, man. For me, all right. Take that stake, man. Follow him. Real talk. Burger Man back. Okay. See, I want to come to NY, LA, but the Border Patrol is just messed up right now. They detaining all Canadians. What? Man, that's sheesh. They detaining everybody. Man, hopefully that get worked out soon, man. So you can start traveling, man. You know, man. That's what I said, man. Being set apart. You move away from all that confusion, all that noise. You move away from all that drama, and when you don't when you don't have all that drama around you, you be having all that peace, man. You be having all this shalom. Tell y'all, and that's what give you that shine. That's what give you that light, because the Most High hands is upon you. He's baruching you, We just got to continue to lift up the Father, man, in our stature. Keep doing what is right, and denying what's wrong. Keep walking faithful, keep walking straight. There be so much stuff going on to the left and to the right. You know, even if we walking straight, he moves those things out the way. So we just gotta keep walking straight, walking in alignment, man. You know, yeah, you have to honor your parents from a distance. Yeah, sometimes it be like that. Honor your mother and father. From a distance. Look, but one thing we gotta take into initiative is that the Most High says that if if your mother and father, what's the word, basically, like, if they're not supporting you, if they're not with you, if they push you to the wayside, then he's your father. You know, a lot of us been abandoned by certain parents. You know, and the best you could do is just forgive, and the Most High know that you thankful for life in general. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us was raised with our mothers. We knew our fathers, but our fathers wasn't around. All the time. But that didn't make you not masculine. Like, these things was already embedded in us since the root. Because the Most High already chose you and chosen you in the womb. And call that ones. If you could find that scripture right in Ecclesiasticus, where it says that the Most High he's made some people like better than others, like, meaning, like, it was individuals that he saw, right, even through, like, bloodlines, and through, like, quality. He just chose people to just you know be trash, and then he picked people that he knew deep down that was gonna be with him to lift him up to this extent. Like, right now, like, look at the things that we done been through in life, man. A lot of us been homeless. A lot of us had nowhere to go. A lot of us had to get into programs, situations, and we still walking faithful. That's the type right there. Proverbs 21:19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. A lot of these dudes, man, they be arguing with their females as soon as they get off work. Can't even go to the gym. They arguing with their female. They go to the gym. They can't even get a good workout. They can't even get a pump. I tell y'all, when you got that peace, man, you go straight to that gym. You just get that work in. You know. Oh yeah. Oh, second asterisk. Oh, okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Let me read that. Let me read that before I read the other ones. It said, second entrance 9:22. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grapevine be kept and my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect. Man, all praises to the Most High Yahu. All praises. All praises. Let's go. Let's go. See, if you can't put down the bottle or the joint, then I gotta keep my distance. That's facts, bro. You can't be in counsel with people, man. They're gonna just disrupt you. People want to smoke weed, smoke this, smoke that, drink the bottle. How could you be a wise man and be around that? You can't. Yeah, it's facts. Single mother's household's tough. Yeah, man. My mother, she put in a lot of work. My mother, she see my stature, she see where I'm at in life. My mother proud of me. My mother come to California. I go out to see her in the South. We spend time with each other. She's obeying these laws, statutes, and commandments. When you could put your parents on game about certain things, man, it's a real beautiful thing. For real, the Most High look down upon you like, wow, like, wow. He said, wow. Like, my mother, she prays and stuff like that, but she didn't know. She didn't know other things too. You know, when you got a Caribbean background, they heavily influenced in curry shrimp, crab, all that. You tell her about the unclean foods and why those things bring forth health problems. You know what I'm saying? Right, call down ones, man. You try to tell, you know, I be knowing my brother's names, man. So I'll be like, yo, Jay. I'll be like, yo, Jay. So yeah, man, you know, you live in a single mother, you try to tell your mother some truth. Either she gonna accept it or she not gonna accept it, man. We try to tell them, certain things, and it's up to them to accept it. Sometimes, they still got a heart of stone. But if they accept it, their heart start changing. For real. You ever let's see, Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I consecrated you and appointed you a prophet to the nations. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shakan, let's go. I don't want no fellowship with the wicked. Somehow they gravitate towards you. Yeah, man. People in the world, they be like opposites attract. Like, no, 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 no. Opposites don't attract, right? You can't be wicked and then attract goodness in your life. You can't be good and attract wickedness in your life. It's like it's just when you move and set apart and you move in righteous, it's like a brand new catalog, right? It's like something that they never heard, something that they never saw, something that they never smelt, something that they never tasted before. So it's kind of like when the wicked sees a righteous man, right? It's like they be trying to get in to infiltrate, to try to figure out who you are, right? A lot of times too, sometimes they want what you got because they don't got shalom in their life. They don't got treasures built up in the kingdom. They're not building for the kingdom. So sometimes, yeah, they want to know you, right? But I had situations where a lot of individuals try to come close. They may not have, they may not have claimed that they was wicked, but it looked like they wanted some edification because they was talking to edification. And then when you start talking to edification for a long period of time, eventually they fall to the wayside, right? Y'all lose contact. That person can't keep up no more. You know, it's like that. Are we here to convert the wicked? In a sense, Yahusha was here to preach and to the law was here not for the righteous, but it was for the sick. Well, the law is for everybody, first of all, but he came to heal the sick, right? He didn't come here to heal those that was healthy. So in a sense, we have the same way how Yahuwah is ready to wrath, right? He still has his hand stretched out. So sometimes, we just be moving with manners, we moving masculine. We be like, you know what, look, I got extra sandwich. Here you go. It's like that, right? And a person will come to you and look like they want to get put on some game, want to get put on some truth, and then you keep talking, 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 and then eventually you see that they keep falling back, falling back, falling back, and it's nothing that you could do about it, right? Because we wise as serpents, yet harmless as doves. So you just got to continue to keep doing this work. It don't matter how hard it get, how difficult it get. You still got to keep pressing forward, right? Keep a sound mind and a sound heart. Take your time, man, because we've been all in situations, man, where we was after wisdom like crazy. We was after it, boom, 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 and then you start getting like so overwhelmed. You be feeling like, yo, like you can't do nothing, or like just there's nothing you could enjoy anymore in life. You know what I'm saying? I know we all been there, and then we gotta sit back and be like, hold up, like we gotta do it little by little. The Most High is like, why are you stressing so much? Like, stop overwhelming yourself. Like, take your time. Take your time. Like, I did not make life for you. I didn't bring you in this life. I didn't form you so you could lessen your life, right? In the book of Ecclesiastes speaks about that, right? It's like if you keep chasing after it, it'll take away from your life. We gotta have a balanced scale, right? We gotta balance our life. Life have to have balance. That's why for a set apart man, it's so important and pivotal to hit the gym. Like that's a ground for us to really express ourselves, man. Like we have fun in the gym. We have fun in the weight room. Like people be in there, just working up a storm because they want to be like everybody else. But we be in there just making progress by having fun. We be in there moving that weight, curling that weight, you know, doing this, doing that. It just be feeling good, man. They just be so stressed out. Said Deuteronomy 14:2. He said, For you are a people holy to the most high Yahuwah, and Yahuwah has chosen you to be a people for his treasure possession out of all the people who are on the face of the earth. See? It's Yashrael right there, man. It's Yashrael. It's Yashrael. It's Yashrael. Let's go. We really stand for that. You know. Got my garments on, step outside, do my work, got my fringes, real peaceful, real peaceful. Keeping the commandments, being real peaceful, you know, putting out things that, don't need to be, learn about things, just working on our conduct, having that emotional intelligence, you know, 'cause sometimes we got to keep it 100. Sometimes we be ready to wrath. Sometimes you be ready to knock a joker out, man. A lot of these soft dudes, man, these dudes in their antics, man, they just be real feminine, really emotional. They be looking at the things that you have. They be looking at your possessions like you got the whole world. You just got a piece of shalom. They be trying to look at what you got and thinking like, they hold some weight. Right? A lot of these street dudes, man, they soft too. All they just make noise like a broad up and down the block, just yelling, 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 making noises all day. Like it's just super soft, bro. Super soft. They don't know that they feminine too. They be thinking that they masculine. They be thinking that they hard. They be thinking that they doing something. They ain't doing nothing. They be real stiff when they come around you. They see your presence and they be like, hold up. And the Most High said that he'll make your enemies to be at peace with you. But guess what? The scripture says to still be watchful of your enemies, because even though they be looking submissive when they come around you, bowing their heads, talking about, oh, how you doing? Oh, have a good day, and this, that, and the third. We still watching y'all. For real. We don't trust no enemy. For real. 100%. You said 100? I said 100%. There's times where you can't give certain individuals a second chance, especially if you can't tell that they just gonna turn back from their wicked ways. Yeah, man. That's why you gotta dust your feet off and keep it moving. For real. It's like right now I'm about to go inside because all I can smell is weed. These jokers be high out their minds. These dudes be soft. You feel good in here, because that's something as well too. Hold on, the mic's still on. Perfect, perfect. That's something too, when you back in your house, it's such a peace that comes upon you for real, man. And I feel like that's a gift that the Most High gives us. We be out here, we go out, we feel the wickedness. We come back in where we are established at, you know, and we just feel a nice peace of shalom, man. Yeah, they be so emotional and frantic, especially in these grocery stores. Yeah, man. They do cling onto the garments of the Most High Yahuwah. Yes, sir. They be emotional. Yeah, if you're part of any gang, yeah, you a coward for real. They cowards, real cowards. It's like I make jokes sometimes about things that they do because they're no service to the communities. Like you got to give these dudes a city job just so they can learn how to clean up after themselves. Get a mop, get a bucket. Instead of the street cleaning coming every Tuesday and Thursday, or like Mondays. Yeah, Mondays and Thursdays. I'm just thinking of outside where we at, but any of those days where it's street cleaning, you gotta give these jokers a broom, some cleaning products, and help them clean up. Because instead, they just be out making all that noise. And what they don't even know is that they're actually what they get involved with is a certain level of Freemasonry. I know a lot of them probably know what they're doing because a lot of they so-called head dudes is a part of that already. So that's why all that symbolism they be throwing up. That's why they move with that type of presence, right? But it don't last for long. That's why they always looking like something going on with them, because immediately once you start partaking in wickedness, you have a very wicked demeanor, a wicked like presence about you, and your countenance shows that, right? Your skin start looking dried. You start looking like you possessed by a whole demon. You start doing things. You start just looking like you down bad, but they be looking like they got a whole bunch of spunk and life to them. During the daytime, they quiet. During the nighttime, they loud. You get it, right? Because during the hours of like one to like not even one, I think like two to three. It's that witchcraft and that warlock hour where they start doing all their activities. Right? You wake up in the morning, you see a whole bunch of stuff, possibly all over the place: cans, drinks, beers, spray paint, all over the place. Crazy. Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy. Yeah. For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. That's a fact. That's a fact. Hold on, let me get the scriptures. That's a fact though. What's up, son? You had some of the chicken? Yeah, chicken? Yeah. You give him some potatoes too. All right. Yeah, let's get in the book of Sirach. Right now on my own personal read, I'm right now in First Samuel 15. So I'm reading it all through, but I definitely go through some of the lessons. It's very pivotal to keep going through the lessons, but it's very pivotal as well too to read the book to get the context of the scriptures and of who the people of the Most High are. Because these so-called Christians, man, you know that claim that they in the truth, they only in the they only in the so-called New Testament, but we know the whole book is a testament of Yahuwah itself, right? They divided the book. We don't divide the word, right? We don't divide. When I mean we don't divide the word, I mean like we don't split it up in categories and be like, oh, this is new and this is old. Nah, it's all life all together, right? We divide the word by finding out the precepts on precepts on precepts to back what we believe and back what the scripture means and says. Like you can't have the new and not the old, and the old not with the so-called new. You got to have all of it in one. Some people just like to stay in the new all day, man, and don't see the laws, the commandments. They just think, oh yeah, love your neighbor, and don't have no other Elohim before Yah, and yeah, just eat pork and bottom feeders all day long, for real. So the book of Sirach, let's go 12:10. Let's go. Never trust your enemies. Never trust your enemy, for like as iron rust, so is his wickedness. Though he humbles himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and you shall be unto him as if you had wiped the looking glass, and you shall know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Tell him, man, yo, that's super pivotal because you see that right there. It says, it says, it says, though he humbles himself and go crouching. Yo, these jokers be really trying to humble themselves. Like, you see that? They not humble. Yo, that's why I love these scriptures, man. These scriptures will keep you safe and have your eyes open. Have your eyes open. For real, man. Have your eyes open, man. Yeah, they yo, very emotional. Yeah, they emotional for real. You know, they so frantic in their ways. They so just so reactive as well too. Subtle movements. Just by you looking like you got power. You know, they get real fidgety. They get real jumpy. They soft. Hey, what's going on? You brushing his teeth? Man, do acting like something going on, man. See, fellas, when you got children, man, you really be on that dad mode. Like, hey, what's going on, man? Be on that dad mode, man. It's a blessing to be a father, though. So I remember when I was living in Seattle, 5 dudes approached me at the community center and asked me if I was Hoover, and I said, "No, I'm from Canada." Dude gave me a worried look and backed away. So see, these dudes be stupid, right? For real. I knew the Most High was protecting me, and he seen the Most High. That's why these dudes backed up. Yeah, man, these dudes stupid. What's wrong with these dudes, man? Asking you if you from this and that. What you talking about? If I'm from this and that. Yeah, I was just talking to my wife about that. Yeah, I play football. Yeah, a lot of people be pressing me with that too. When I was at my other gym training, there's like, hey man, you play football? I was like, play a little bit of everything, truthfully, especially with my build. Definitely play football. They say, yeah, they tamper with the KJV. Yeah, that word, I and G word. I don't understand why you can't find the Bible in the bookstore. Yeah, yeah. That'd be funny. Yeah, I play. Yeah, man, I play basketball. And that was perfect timing. That was perfect timing because the microphone ran out of battery. That was perfect timing. Not gonna lie. That was perfect timing. The mic ran out of battery. Let me take a little sip of this water real quick. Oh yeah, volume back on, Ox. Let's go. So let's find some more scriptures. Find some more. I was just talking about wisdom in the video that I dropped today, cause when you sit by yourself and you just meditate, like I had a booger in my nose, cause I was sneezing outside. But sometimes you just be thinking, man, and wisdom just be bestowing wisdom upon you. That's how beautiful it is to have wisdom in your life. Yeah, let's bring that down. Oh yeah, yeah, right there. Yeah, yeah. No, that's too bright on my face, man. Oh yeah, that's just right. That's just right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ooh. 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 Man. Man, Ecclesiasticus, man, Sirach 15 says, "He that fears Yahuwah will do good, and he that has the knowledge of the Torah shall obtain her." Who is her? Let's find out. "And as a mother shall meet him and receive him as a woman married of a virgin. With the bread of understanding shall she feed him and give him water of wisdom to drink." Man, man, that's beautiful right there. That's how wisdom comes and meets you. It's like as a mother will meet him, right, and receive him as a woman married of a virgin. Like that's how see that's how pure wisdom is. Wisdom will feed you water of wisdom to drink. Man, bread of understanding. Man, that's a lot, you know. And shall be stayed upon he shall be stayed upon her and drink. He shall be stayed upon her and shall not be moved, and shall rely upon her and shall not be confounded. Ooh. Proverbs 7:4. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. That's a fact. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. You know, tell you this walk, man. There's no walk like this. For real. There's no walk like this. You know, to have wisdom tells you so much about a lot. Wisdom tell you a lot about a situation. You know, when an individual possibly tries to be a stumbling block, wisdom could tell you everything about a person without a person having to tell you anything. That's why we keep our mouth closed. And that's why it says that he shall be stayed upon her and shall not be moved. You know what I'm saying? And shall rely upon her and shall not be confounded. It's a reason why we stand so still in the midst of temptation too, right? Because a reprobated mind and a man that's not full of wisdom, he's not gonna have any understanding about the situation. He's gonna see a harlot. He's gonna see a strange woman staring at him, and he's gonna be standing right there looking at her and getting drawn in by her. He can't hear wisdom. He can't hear it. He's blinded. Wisdom is not even with him. Wisdom haven't even walked with him in crooked places. Man, hasn't even walked with him. Man, let's get into some more, man. Let's see, so 100% the father gives you the full breakdown on the individual before you even exchange words with him. That's real talk, you know. And to an extent, I feel like even the wicked have a sense of discernment too to know you ain't the one to really mess with like that and to really open up to like that because it's a reason why. Well, yeah, the reason is because the scripture says that good will be against good will be against evil and evil will be against good, and it's been like that since the beginning, right? It will always be against each other. So that means you could always identify who is who. That's why this walk, it's a real narrow path, and it's not like you're gonna feel isolated or feel lonely. It's just not too many people is on this walk, right? And it's a great thing that when you are building right, you want to connect to people, like-minded individuals, y'all gonna be connecting. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, we gotta be thankful for the things that we have. You know? Oh yes, quick with it. Yeah, that's why it's so important to accept wisdom and reject pleasure. 100%, 100%, 100%. Ecclesiasticus 33:14. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. 14. Good is sin against evil. Yeah. Good is, let's see, 15. Straight 14. Okay. Good is sin against evil, and life against death. So is the righteous against the sinner, and the sinner against the righteous. That's a fact, bro. It's always been like that. It's always been like that. That's why you always feel like it's a battle when you step outside. It's always a battle. That's why we're supposed to put the garments on. It's always a battle. It's always a battle. Always a battle. Real talk, it's always a battle. When you live and set apart. That's why you gotta come back into your lodging place, man, and really recover and heal to go out and labor for another day. You know, tomorrow is not promised, but you know, the Most High is gonna put us to work. He's gonna put us to work. And we know we got work to do. That's why the Most High gives us that reassurance. Right? We pray with belief and he takes care of us. Right? We give him our petitions and he takes care of us. For real. Mm. Ooh. Yes, sir. Mata Yahoo. Let's check it. Let's check it. Let's check it. Oh yeah. We in Sora. 630, 633. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you first, but seek you first the kingdom of Elohim, right? Of Yahuwah and his righteousness. And all these things shall be added unto you. Ooh, let's continue. Let's continue. Take therefore no thought for tomorrow shall take thought for itself, for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Right, right, right. For real, you know, tell you, man, this walk, it's a mandatory thing. It gives us peace, it gives us shalom. You know, it gives us clarity. You know, it gives us solid direction on where to go. And when you in this truth, you're not tossed to the left and tossed to the right. You know, we gotta think, right? If you're being tossed to the left and tossed to the right, that means something you're doing is not right. You know, and a lot of men that's on this lifestyle change when it comes down to semen retention, you know, they gotta make sure that they get into this word, get into this truth, you know, so these things don't become complications for real. You know, because once you set apart like 100%, like there's nothing but peace in your life. There's nothing but shalom in your life. There's nothing but abundance in your life. You know, and you get faced with certain things, man. But you know, you're not alone for real. So so much increase. So much increase. It's such a blessing, right? So much wisdom, so much strength every day. For real, all praises, man. You know, Caramel Silver, man. Good looks, huh? Walking in easy, you help me stay locked in and remember I'm not alone in this. Shalom, absolutely. You know, we not alone, man. We all in this world right now. You know, we not of the world, but we're in the world. You know, and we not for 1 second we not falling short. We not gonna give up and just throw in a towel and just call it a day, man. You know, we fighting. And in a sense too, right? All of us are on the same team. All of us are fighting for righteousness, finding the set apart walk. So, you know, we need each other as the body of the Mashiach to continue to hold each other stable, right? it's like as I'm reading in the book of Samuel, right? I'm in First Samuel right now, and as I'm reading through it, it's like, man, you gotta stick together, because when it's time for war, you gotta be together. Because if Yahuwah is with us, then why are we gonna be separated from each other? You know, great in numbers, right? We can't disobey, and we like someone on the team, right? Someone that's in the field with us can't keep breaking commandments and then expect Yahuwah to be with us if that person is with us. You know what I'm saying? So by us being in the body of the Mashiach, like we really gotta take this walk serious. We gotta really walk with each other. We really gotta edify one another. We really gotta uplift one another. We really gotta give words of encouragement, right? Because words bring forth, like the power of the tongue brings forth life or death. So we speak life upon our situation, right? We speak life on everything that we do, and we bring clarity to the situation. So, that's why we got to keep on going. And I know those that get on this platform consistently, man. I know y'all going through it. And when I mean going through it, I don't mean in a bad way. I mean like y'all moving forward, man. Hey, man, I look like a real island man right now. I ain't gonna hold you. Speaking of the Caribbean, Dawid talks about the Caribbean too. So the people got sent to the tribe. Man. Hey man, I'm looking like a real island man right now. I got the mustache coming over the lip, man. You see me on Flatbush with my, come on, man. You get off on Canarsie, you see me with my Clarks on my polo shirt. I'm selling plantains, avocado. I'm selling Kennep. You know, I got a golden crust gift card for you too. Hey man, hey Ak, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, man. They call me the roti man, a real roti man. And we got some kalaloo in the fridge right now. So man. Sometimes hey man, I can come over here with that pot tart real quick, man. I was talking to my mother today, and we love talking about flavors. The way we really bust down food. When we talk to each other, we say. My mother today. She said she make a ribeye, and she had a whole bunch of seasonings that she done blend together, and she had so much trays left over. So she said, I walked in the house and I smelled something. And I said, what is that? She said, wow, it smells so good. She said, son, what you make today? I said, we got some callaloo in the fridge. She said, callaloo, what? Oh, you still got more callaloo? I said, yeah, we make some tuna steak with some mashed potatoes. She said, that's my son right there. That's my son right there. Man. Even my wife, she be like, man, how could you hop from accent to accent? I'm like, I really lived in these places. I came back to, like I was talking yesterday on a live. I went to school in Harlem. So when I went to Trinidad and I came back up to the States, I was born in the Virgin Islands. My mom's from Trinidad though. So when we moved to Harlem, and I was going to school in Harlem, and then I went to move to Trinidad. My accent got super thick, man. Came back. These jokers couldn't even recognize me no more. Yo, what's going on? See the ox in the building. Yo, 94 Z's. All praises. Let's go. Yes, Yahoo. Let's go, Jay. Let's go. He said, there is no peace, says Yahuwah, unto the wicked. That's facts. It's no peace. It's no peace. It's no peace, man. It's no peace. That's a fact. It's no peace. You know, when you walk past the wicked, right, and it clicks, right? They be looking like they got everything established. Then when you walking past, Everybody be just so like, why is that? Because there's no peace, right? Says Yahuwah, right? Yahuwah is walking with us, right? And if he's the judge, man, he's walking with us in the valleys of darkness, man. You know, he's bringing forth judgment, man. And that's why I'm reading right now. I'm reading right now from the Torah up to see this example that Yahuwah had to be with the people in order to slay the other nations. So that means Yahuwah is with you when you walk outside and you're around these other nations and these other people that's not of the Most High, that don't want to hearken unto his law, that don't want to walk in his ways, his statutes, his commandments. He's walking with you. And they're in the palm of your hands, right? Because a lot of enemies got delivered to the people of Yashrael when they're going to war. When they had to go slay people, Yahuwah was with them. And their enemies was in the palm of their hands. Now the thing is that we're not big in numbers, but we loud in strength. You see that? So that's why the Most High says one could send 1,000 flee or flight. Two could send 10,000 to flight. And we gotta believe in that. See, when you believe in that, you could walk more upright. Too many people out here have too much fear. Fear is not of the Most High. It's not. And when you walk with that and you got that belief, who gonna stop you? Man, it said greater love has no man than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. You are my friends if you do whatever I command you. Look at that. That's why he's your head, man. Your head, your high priest. Man. It's beautiful. Real. This is a great live. It's a great live. We're gonna finish it up though with a few more scripture, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Hope y'all having a nice Baruch night, man. Real peaceful, real sound. Man, look at this right here, man. I was reading this today, right? Tehillim, Psalms 3. It says, Yahuwah, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in Elohim, Selah. But you, O Yahuwah, are a shield for me, my glory and my lifter, and the lifter up of my head. I cried unto Al Yahuwah with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill, Selah. I laid me down to sleep. I awoke, for Yahuwah sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Yahuwah, and save me, O Eloi, Elua, for you have smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. You have broken the teeth of the wicked. Ooh. Yeshayahu, Yeshua belongs unto Yahuwah. Your blessings is upon the people. Man, he's spitting all your enemies, man, upon the cheekbone. Broken the teeth of the wicked. The teeth, man, they jaw locked and loaded. He said, where did I buy my book? Where did I buy the book? on the C4 website. Go to the C4 website. Bam. You know where you can find it too? On the online ministry on the online ministry channel. If you remember, I came the channel of the Whited Out series, right? If you go in the description, you could get this 10% off online. They roughly charge you 99, yeah, 99.99. So $100 technically. 99 plus 99 cents, 0.99 cents. It's $100. So you get 10% off. Yeah. They also have an app too. But the thing about the app is, in order to get the books that's been taken out of the scriptures, you're gonna have to pay like $10 on the app. So the app is free, but to get the other scriptures that's not in the in the book that the world compiled together, and they took out all the other scriptures, then you can find it as well too. You just got to them. Yeah, you could definitely find it, man. Definitely. That channel's a great channel for real. Great channel. I was thinking of something real quick. Oh yeah, there's a website too where they have so much more books that's been taken out of the scriptures, like the Basora of Thomas. So much other writings, man. We gotta really be in this truth, man, because it's a lot. It's a lot that they taking out. That to compile it in books, it would take an extremely long time. But even on the websites though, where they have the other books, a lot of the words has been tampered with as well too. So, you just got to read it with wisdom and understanding, and just to, remove that. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, yeah, they don't want no reprobated individuals on their platform. Yeah, that's facts. That's a real fact right there, man. You know, 'cause people will come on there and probably talk crazy, but I'm glad that don't happen. Yeah, and their messages be real sound and real straight to the point. You know, and with the scriptures too, it brings that reassurance. So let's finish up with Psalms Psalm 6 to Halim 6. O Yahuwah, rebuke me not in your anger, neither chasten me in your hot displeasure. Have mercy upon me, O Yahuwah, for I am weak. O Yahuwah, heal me, for my bones are vexed. My soul is also sore vexed, but you, Yahuwah, how long? Return, O Yahuwah, deliver my soul. O from the save me for your mercy's sake. For in death there is no remembrance of you. In Sheol, who shall give you thanks? I am weary with my groaning all the night, and I make my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. My eye is consumed because of grief. It waxes old because of all my enemies. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity, for Yahuwah has heard my voice of my weeping. Yahuwah has heard my supplication. Yahuwah will receive my prayer. Let all my enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them suddenly return and be ashamed suddenly. Yes, sir. These are the kind of prayers that we got to pray for. You can't be afraid to pray against your enemies. Like we in times right now where, it's so much going on that you're gonna have to, definitely pray for. He said, does your reading say Yahuwah in it too? Yes, sir. Give ear to my words, O Yahuwah. Consider my meditation. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my King and my Elohim. For you will, for unto you will I pray. My voice shall you hear in the morning. O Yahuwah, in the morning I will direct my prayer unto you and will look up. For you are not the El that has pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with you. The foolish shall not stand in your sight. You hate all workers of iniquity. You shall destroy them that speak falsehood. Yahuwah will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. But as for me, I will come unto your house in the multitude of your mercies, and in your fear will I worship toward your holy temple. Lead me, O Yahuwah, in your righteousness because of my enemies. Make your way straight before my face. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue. Destroy them, O Elohim. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out of the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against you. But let all those that put their trust in you rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because you defend them. Let them also that love your name be joyful in you. For you, Yahuwah, will bless the righteous. With favor will you compass him with a shield. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's worth every penny, It's worth every penny. Oh yeah. So yeah, Ox. Man, 10:27. I'm about to chill out for a bit, Eat me a few other pieces of chicken, maybe like 40 minutes. Floss, brush, take it down, man. Y'all willing me get another day. Y'all willing me get another day to hit them weights. Oof. Oof. Another day we could breathe, man. Another day we could magnify and rejoice in the Father. Good to see you, Danny. Shalom. Good to see you. Made it in here, man. You made it in here right on time. It don't matter, even though we coming to an end, man, you made it right on time, man. For real. So yeah, we count it all joy, count it all joy. For real. So yeah, let's get up out of here. Shalom UncleK. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah through his son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother, UncleK. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Y'all continue to stay blessed. Be Baruch. Definitely be Baruch. You gotta know you Baruch, man. Based off what the scripture's saying right now, too, you gotta know that you're blessed. You gotta know that you're set apart. You gotta know that you Kodesh, right? Kodesh means set apart. Kodesh means holy, set apart, holy, Kodesh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. I gotta check out. I gotta check out what you uploaded today too, cause sometimes I'll wait. I see six new uploads. I'm like, all right, cool. I got something to watch. I got something to watch today, so I'm gonna check them out for sure. I'm gonna check them out. See what you're cooking up, man. But yeah, definitely. Peace to you too, Danny. Shalom, brother. Shalom as well, brother. Yes, sir. Great live stream. Shabbat shalom to the 12 tribes. Yes. Yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna leave this live up. It was a great live. I'm thankful I went live at this time. Some just called me to just boom, just like go, come on. The people need it. Like we all need it. That's why we do what we do, because we need it too. You know, the thing about us men, right, that make this type of content is that we're not just speaking to the people. Like we speaking because it's these things that we come to realization of, right, within self too, because we in this fight together. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And this kind of labor is really hard, man. Really hard. And for the brothers that's always uploading or uploading every day, just sometimes you need like a day of rest. And then when you take that day of rest, you be like, nah, bro, it's something. Like the people, I gotta be there for the people, the people, the people. There's some people out here, that they may make content talking about semen retention, but they be just doing it for like views and likes and you know trying to get attention and just trying to make people feel good. Like we're not trying to make people feel good. We're trying to make people wake up, right? So with that being said, y'all continue to have a great night. Give y'all petitions unto Yahuwah. Be safe in all your doings. And yeah, shalom, fellas. Peace. And make sure y'all drinking water, man. Make sure y'all drinking water. For real, stay hydrated, man. Even before you go to sleep, man. Stay hydrated.